Hi everyone, I'm here with Pa Lehane. He's a 2-0 pro lightweight fighting out of SBG Cork. He made his pro debut recently, fighting twice in one night, and he's returning on September 10th against Isaac Ruelas. Pa, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Sorry for being so awkward with time.
Oh, don't worry about it. Um, so it's unusual to see a young Irish prospect signing with the likes of Combat rather than, Cage Warriors, Cage Legacy. What influenced that decision?
I suppose. Well, it was my coach got me the opportunity. It was a huge opportunity because when you uh fighting in England and Ireland is good, but it's the path everyone really takes because it's the only path that's available for them. There's not a lot of money fighting here at the start. There's when you make it big and you have a big name and you're fighting for like big money in Bellator or in Cage Warriors or whatever, but there's no real money in it. You can't really live on it. The money is in America, and my coach got me the opportunity to fight on the show, and I seized it, and I got a contract over there. So thank God.
And do you foresee yourself coming back to the local scene at all, or?
Yeah, 100%. So I like what I want to do eventually is get Combate Global to come to Ireland, which will happen at some stage. Um, they are already talking about coming into the European scene. Um, they're going to come to, I think, maybe Spain next year. I'm not too sure. So they're coming into Europe. So I will get them to Ireland once I'm a champion. Hopefully we'll get them to Ireland.
That's the talk you love to see. How was it fighting twice in one night? Um, yeah, how was it?
It was good crack. Yeah, I loved it because like I obviously I fought in IMAFs and that was you fight day after day. And I fought in novice competitions in Ireland back in the day, and they were you had multiple fights in one day, so I had experience doing it. Um, so yeah, it was grand. Not no like it wasn't unusual for me. I felt very comfortable doing it. I knew before I went in, like I knew what kind of mindset I wanted to have after the first fight. Don't get too hyped up. Stay relaxed. Get ready for the next one. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, and I definitely love to do it again because um, yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in it because you get paid per fight, like so. Um, yeah, fuck it, bang them out, like why
And
not?
and how does it feel to be returning again so soon?
Brilliant. Yeah, so I've asked to while I was over there, I asked to stay and fight the next because they have shows there every couple of weeks or every week. They set up an Univision studio over there, so they they have shows on every single week. They're very consistent with their shows, so I knew that going over, and my plan was to ask to stay over there and just fight again and make more money, make as much money as I could before I come back home. Obviously, because it's such a trek to come back, uh, like and then have to sort everything to fly back over again. So um yeah, no, I'm happy to go over. I want to stay active, like because we were obviously inactive for so long with COVID. So yeah, I'm happy that I'm going straight away again.
Yeah. In your first of those two fights against Santana, you seemed to be not caught, but you seem to have some trouble with a pretty deep choke. Were you ever worried about getting finished, or was it just a matter of stay calm, get out of the choke?
Yeah, so we're put in those situations multiple times every single day in training. So it's just you like because I've been there so many times in training, I was completely calm. It wasn't like super tight. I kind of I knew um I knew I could get out. I obviously always will think I can get out until I can't. Um, but uh, yeah, so it worked out well. Like I got out anyway. Thank God. You know.
And in that second fight against Maxime, those elbows you threw off your back were vicious. Were you expecting to work off your back as much as you did? Like, I know you have to be prepared for everything, or was that just kind of a spur of the moment? Like, I guess I'm working off my back situation, you know?
Yeah, so everyone, look at any of my fights. There's not been one MMA fight where the guy hasn't jumped for my legs like every single time. So it's like I expect it every single time. I don't think many people can strike with me. Um, so obviously we expected, especially Maxime, if we got him, I expected him to shoot for takedowns and all that. So yeah, it's fun being able to elbow him now because we used to just have when Russians would take us down in IMAS, we couldn't elbow them at all. But now elbows are like a very like you can actually do a lot of damage off your back. Whereas when you're punching off your back, like especially when they're close to you, you can't get like a lot of damage. So yeah, it's good being able to elbow again.
And you said there that you don't think anyone can strike with you. Your upcoming opponent, Ruelas, is a former WBC Muay Thai champion. How are you feeling about your striking going into that fight?
I just hope he stays standing. I don't think he will. I think he'll shoot after a while. Like Thai boxers, like he's like they're very stiff. They don't have a lot of head movement, and they're very basic with their movement and everything. So I think after a while he'll want to shoot as well. If I don't finish him before that, but he's a
And
tough guy, so who knows? Those
and
Mexicans are tough, like so.
yeah.
We'll see.
And another thing I saw on your Instagram was that you've been training with James Power. And for those who don't know, he's Ireland's youngest ever pro boxer. Are you feeling like more confident in your stand up having like such high level training partners?
Yeah, like James is a very very good boxer. He's in a situation now where he's kind of bouncing between gyms and things like that. Like there's not a lot of professional boxing gyms. Um, and just with COVID and stuff, it was awkward for him. And so we invited him down to our gym, and he accepted. So he's kind of training there for now, until he goes wherever he's going next. It's not my place to say, but yeah, it was brilliant training with him. Really, really good training partner. Learn loads from him. Yeah, it's good. It's good because we're both young fellas from Cork, and we're both trying to like pursue our dreams and like make waves in our own sports, like me MMA and him boxing. But you know, we're very we have a lot in common, so it's good training with like-minded people. You know.
For sure. And you know, as you mentioned, you do have a pretty extensive amateur record, having competed in the IMAFs and the like. Um, but coming into those last two fights, both guys had a lot of pro experience. Was that something you were ever worried about, or was it a case of, you know, you were confident in having so much amateur experience that you didn't feel like it mattered?
Yeah. So I knew I had more fights than all the. I actually had more fights than all the boys that I was fighting, even though they had 12 fights each as professionals or whatever. Um, it didn't phase me. Because I just watched their tape, like, and I knew I could beat them both. So same with this next guy. He's got 6, 7 pro MMA fights. He's got 30 plus Thai boxing, professional Thai boxing fights. Same thing again. It doesn't matter. Pro is it's just a rule set, like, and it's just being allowed to use the head and elbow. So no, I'm fairly confident again. It doesn't phase me at all.
And with that extensive amateur record, have you any interest in like avenging any of your amateur losses, or are you like solely focused on, I suppose, the future?
No, my amateur career is my amateur career is my amateur career. It was a learning curve for me. That's why I did it. I took every single fight I could, whenever I could, just to rack up the experience against tough guys. Um, yeah, no, I think I've learned loads from it, and I don't hold anything against anyone in the amateur scene. Like I'm like that part of my career is books closed or whatever. So we're moving on to the professional ranks now and fresh start. You know.
And if I've seen right, you're competing at lightweight now, but in the amateur scene, you competed at both featherweight and welterweight. How is your weight? How's your cut? And would you be ever interested in moving up or down in weight?
Yeah, so like I said at amateur, I just took fights whenever I could. So I took them from featherweight, and then I fought featherweight a couple of times, lightweight a good few times, and I fought welterweight a few times as well. So it's like I don't care. Like I think people stress about weight a lot. It doesn't really matter until you get to like really high level when everyone is so good everywhere. I think then like weight does matter because weight can make the difference between winning and losing. Obviously it can now at this stage as well, but it's more about skills. So yeah, I think featherweight's the way to go for me, but lightweight has just been offered to me so far. That tournament was at lightweight. I couldn't turn that down, and now this guy we're fighting at lightweight. So yeah,
And how
I
is the
in the
weight for
future
you?
featherweight. Perfect. Yeah, no matter.
No problems with the cut?
Simple. No. So I prefer not having to do a water cut. You know, like I'm walking around very like a couple of kilos over, like 2 kilos over. So it's nothing for me. You know.
Yeah. That's pretty much all the questions I had prepared. Uh, so, again, thanks for coming on and talking to me. Good luck in your fight. Best of luck.
No
Best of
bother at
skill.
all. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate it.